What's going on, Jerome's? So it's a beautiful Monday, and birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. He sees you when you're pooping, and I fully understand that. Yesterday was tough. I mean, putting the bang thing on the Bears, and then all of a sudden looks like you're going to give it away now. And just what wasn't great all the way around. But fully understand that. But I know we sound like a broken record. A win is a win is a win. Would you rather the Vikings lost? What's the alternatives? So when the game went into overtime and the Vikings win in overtime, Sling and Sam Darnold looks great. Jonathan Grenard, that defense stiffens, even though they had gotten sort of slapped around in the fourth quarter. What would you want? Rather they lose? Or I know that you're griping about, well, they were up by 14. Yeah, you're not going to score 14 in overtime. Sorry. So don't dwell on the past because you can't change it. All right, so just focus on the future. And I am proud of this team because they showed a lot of heart. And momentum is a real thing, by the way, where the Vikings had the momentum. They lost it. Bears got it back, scored 11 points in like 25 seconds. And you're thinking, okay, the Bears are going to win this at the end because that would be a very Vikings thing to lose. And then the Vikings were like, no. That's right. And a lot of teams would trade their spleen to be 9-2 at this point, and also with 4 out of the next 5 games at home, including 2 in division. So the Vikings have a chance to make a lot of hay in this next stanza in December. No loss November. Don't lose December or dominate December. One of the two. There's alliteration there. And the Vikings certainly can get... It's very difficult to be 9-2. That's all I'm saying. Something that's very easy is given to our annual Thanksgiving food shelf fundraiser. One of our favorite things that we do, every dollar donated to the show during the month of November will be sent to various Twin Cities food shelves, including our friends over at Every Meal. Super chats when we do the live streams, as well as Venmos, Cash Apps, as well as donations directly to Every Meal. All that information is in the description. If you donate directly to Every Meal, shoot us an email. We'll include you in the total. And so it's our favorite thing to do, right? Paying it forward this time of season, giving thanks, and just making sure that everyone has something to eat this time of year. Well, all year, but this time of year especially. So thank you very much. Is this year 3 or 4? Not sure, but thank you very much, Jerome's, for your generosity. There you go. Next. So, Justin Jefferson had a quiet day for him. 2 catches for 27 yards on 5 targets. It sort of is what it is. But Jefferson basically predicted this earlier in the week where he said either everyone else goes off or you let Justin go off. You will a third person there. And he's completely correct. And the Vikings official account, the mother account, it looks like they opted to let everyone else go off game plan. So with Jefferson... when they're running those 2 high safeties, that takes a guy out of the box. It takes a guy out the box. That's easier to run. And we've been over this. And Aaron Jones, had himself a nice game. 106 yards on the ground, a touchdown, 4.8 yards per carry. Had a fumble. Frickin' A. That's still... And Addison and Hawkinson, they went off, man. They had themselves a huge day. 15 combined catches, combined 276 yards receiving, a touchdown on 18 targets. And... that's exactly what happens where, hey, teams are going to be obsessed taking away Jefferson. And, hey, the Bears lost and everyone else went off, but they can just be like, well, we stopped Justin Jefferson. He didn't beat us. But it completely warped their defense, right? And it is a catch-22 because guess what? If you play straight up, according to Hoyle, Jefferson will burn you one-on-one. So that's a blessing and a curse, right? And just because Jefferson didn't put up eye-popping numbers this game doesn't mean that he isn't important to this offense, because he certainly is. Like, he is Jupiter with all that gravitation. That's right. Also, speaking of Justin Jefferson, Will Raggett, Sports Illustrated, 162 yards for Jordan Addison today, 129 for Aaron Jones total, 114 for TJ Hawkinson. It feels worth noting that Justin Jefferson's defying gravity, and defensive attention helped all of that happen. I just said that, Will. Come on. Sam Darnold, when he's out there, Justin Jefferson, he gets guys open. The defense is so locked into him. And if Brandon Powell hadn't set a moving screen, just run a route, man. Jefferson would have had a touchdown, then that box score looks a lot better. But yeah, certainly is what it is. But ain't worried about Jefferson. Plus, his temperament, he doesn't worry about this. He just wants to win. Like he could have 15 catches for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns and a loss, and he would not want that more than winning with 2 for 27. Right, so that's what sets him apart from some of the other receivers in the league. Also, setting apart is like, hey, I know that people want to rip on Kwesi because of the 2022 draft class, but what about landing 2 absolute nail drivers at kicker, John Parker Romo? So yeah, I mean his long wasn't huge. It was only 40, and the game winner was a bit of a chip shot. But as we've seen around the league, I mean, chip shots aren't chip shots, right? And also, this is really cool, man. So Jake McQuaid, the free agent long snapper, came in to replace Andrew DePaulo, who's down with injury. Made sure he got John Parker Romo's ball for his first game-winning kick. So he ran to the ball boy, got the rock. It's good to go. Parker Romo quote tweeted this: "I've become a better player because of this man. Grateful to have reunited with my guy, #blessed." Now, their paths did cross before, and I just love about this team. Like, even though you got guys and parts that are coming in on short notice, they feel a part of this team. They feel a part of this family, and everyone feels better, and you play better, and you play for each other. I think it's really important, man. Yeah. But John Parker Romo, the Undertaker, it's looking good to go. Also, speaking of family, so this was something was made known after the game. We'll rag at Sports Illustrated again. Kevin O'Connell said C.J. Ham lost his grandfather this morning on Sunday. He lived in Chicago, so Ham got to spend a lot of time with him last night. O'Connell said about 5 hours, and grandfather passed away early in the morning on Sunday. Kevin O'Connell had lots of praise for the way Ham played in this game, as the Vikings leaned on him for more snaps than usual without Josh Oliver, and it was something that O'Connell alluded to in his speech, where it was meant to be this way, where C.J. Ham's grandfather, major part of his life, went to a lot of his games, always supported his grandson, and the fact that the Vikings were in Chicago and C.J. was able to spend a lot of time on Saturday with him before he passed. I mean, it's beautiful, man, and it's something that's meant to be. And you could just see, like, the locker room, post game, you're just like lifting up C.J. Ham, like they got their brother. It's awesome, man. It's awesome. But rest in power, C.J. Ham's grandfather. Yeah. Also, don't have a smooth transition, but slinging Sam Darnold was the freaking truth in the fourth quarter and overtime, man. And we just said that Darnold had his best game of his career against the Titans. We were wrong. It was the subsequent week against the crooked Chicago Bears. PFF, Sam Darnold in the fourth quarter overtime versus the Bears, 11 of 13, $166, 2 big-time throws, 0 goose egg, D'Angelo Russell, turnover-worthy plays. And I don't think he had any. I mean, you may say that, the one that Jonathan Owens got his mitts on. But, I mean, Jefferson was interfered with on that one, DPI. Now you're good to go. And the mother account, Darnold in overtime, 6 for 6 for 90 yards. Remember, they got backed up by penalties a couple times, and was just dealing, right? And he had all the reason in the world to fold. Like, the pressure was starting to get there. His ankle got rolled up on. He fought his way back onto the field because he saw that Nick Mullins was just dropping bombs all over the place. And it was really, really impressive, right? And I still think that Darnold leaves in free agency or tag and trade this offseason because this is going to be J.J. McCarthy's show. But if Darnold plays like this, say cut and paste this the rest of the season and into the playoffs and into the Super Bowl, Vikings may have a tough decision because Darnold right now is playing like a top 5 quarterback, and that's not even being a homer. That's not being facetious. That's just legit. The Vikings don't win these last 2 games without Sam Darnold, and that's the bottom line. All right, because Darnold dealt with bad protection over the last 2 games, keeps his eyes downfield, distributes it, is not forcing things to Justin Jefferson. Everyone else is getting open. And in the Bears game, everyone could have hung their head. It's like, oh, we just blew this 14-point lead. We just blew this 11-point lead with 25 seconds left. Let's just fold our tent and just blah, 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 right? And the defense was gassed. All the momentum was on the other side. But the defense got a big-time stop, sparked by Jonathan Grenard, getting his ninth sack of the season, tied for the team league with AVG, who also got a sack on Sunday. And Darnold just dealt, man. It was glorious. It's exactly what you want. Also exactly what we want is, but also the better that he plays, the more it raises his tag and trade value. And Darnold's going to be coveted because this draft class isn't top-heavy with quarterbacks. It's Shador and Cam Ward, depending on what Milroe and Nussmeier do. And free agency, like, Darnold is the only quarterback that you would say would be your starter from day one. I mean, there's a couple like quasi-bridge quarterbacks, except no one that you're going to break the bank for. Darnold's going to get $35-40 million a year, and he's going to be good to go in that. Ooh, Puka almost got that one. Anyways, but yeah, Darnold, it's a fantastic story. And it sucks that they changed the comeback player of the year parameters, where you basically have to come back from injury, because Darnold should at minimum win most improved. Like, he is. Oh, pass interference. There you go. But I have no transition. But remember when Ryan Poles hired as GM in the Bears? Like, we're going to take the North and never give it back. Yeah. Guessling strip. The Vikings, 5 straight wins at Soldier Field, tied the longest streak in team history from 1996 to 2000. No big deal. So just last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games at Soldier Field. I understand that Chicago weird things happen at Soldier Field, but the Vikings have gotten the best of it. Love to see that. And no time to take a victory lap. Vikings are 9-2, look to get to 10-2. You got the Arizona Cardinals coming in. They are 6-5, trying to stay alive. They got a lot of talent. Love Kyler. Trey McBride is looking like a stud at tight end. Marvin Harrison Jr. is doing the damn thing. Michael Wilson, our guy from Stanford, let's go. Monty Ossenfort, the GM, prior to the University of Minnesota. Morris. Jonathan Gannon, former Vikings assistant, is the head coach, as well as offensive coordinator Drew Petzing, former Vikings assistant as well. I mean, there's a lot of crossover here. There's a lot of homecomings in this game. And I will be... But, the Vikings can't take the Cardinals lightly. And the Cardinals fighting for the playoff lives are very dangerous. They just lost the NFC West tiebreaker lead to the Seahawks with that loss. So, yeah, I mean, the Vikings got to take care of business, move to 10-2. 3 straight games at home, 4 out of 5 at home, and the Vikings have a chance to make a lot of hay. So let's get this thing done. Let's keep pace with the Lions, keep Week 18 viable, and let's smack those fools, man. A win is a win. Finding a way to win ugly when you don't have your fastball, that builds character, and this team is all character, all heart, all the time, man. Absolutely love it. But sometimes I'm like this. Anyways, your thoughts are our thoughts. Vikings Monday news dump. You guys are the best. Absolute best. Skull. Some production value.